You want to see my lightsaber?
There it is.
You good old Sharpie.
Yes. If you guys would like to jump out here and just say hello, you can drop us in the chat room. Let us know where you're at. I see Tony Smith is here. The title of my email invites was Return of the Entrepreneur. Thank you very much. That's Super T checking in. We have a rather large crowd on hand here tonight. We got a lot more people showing up. We had a huge registration as I anticipated. Looked like we overbooked, but we'll make sure that everybody who shows up does get in here. We got about another 2 minutes before we get underway. A. Crawford says hello. Hello, Robert and Joanne from Ohio. Doug Sharp, how's it going? Jim Sook, sounds good. Roger Wilco, thank you very much for that. May the force be with everyone. Susan says hi. Hi, Susan. I know we've been doing a lot of stuff last few weeks and behind the scenes. I want to give a special shout out to Susan for the work that she's done back there. A lot of cool stuff you guys are aware of, I'm sure. Some stuff you've yet to see. Hey, Jerry, good welcome. Welcome to the call. Shay Siegel is here. Hey, Roger. Roger Ramjet is joining us. Roger, thanks for joining us today. As you guys come online, I'm excited to be here. Happy dance, aloha. That means that somebody's checking in from Hawaii.
I'm jealous.
I'm jealous too.
Well, we'll be doing a mastery event over there at some point, so that'll be dynamite. Can't wait for that, I'll tell you that much.
Yep, that's for sure. We'll be doing some events. We got a lot of stuff planned for 2018. Really excited about 2018. Got a lot of cool things planned. Let's see, it's cold up here today. I had to put socks on. I saw that, Susan. I saw you mention that you had to put socks on today. It is, actually, it's going to be 33 degrees here where I live tonight, which is pretty cold. But it wasn't so cold that the dogs spent the afternoon in the swimming pool, which is what they love to do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the top of the hour. I do want to welcome everybody. We got a rather large crowd here this evening. If you're just joining us, this is a special edition, actually. Normally what we do in this time slot is a program called U Zoom Live, where we cover the U Economy business overview, and we talk about the products and the programs and the kind of money that's being made. And tonight we're preempting our regularly scheduled program to bring you a special U-Core session. U-Core is the foundation of all things in U Economy. It's the foundation, the core, like the abdomen, right? That's where all the strength is. And normally U-Core comes to you on Monday nights only. We do it every single week live. Sometimes, normally it's on a telephone call. Occasionally we do a U-Zoom here. Tonight, we have something special. Joining me, of course, is the founder and CEO of U Economy, Peter Wolfing. Peter's an extraordinary character. You guys have you've been around the neighborhood. You know who he is. He's the founder of this business. He's the owner and founder of Multiplex Systems. He has a 27-year track record in direct selling and network marketing. He's the primary content creator for the U Economy. The guy's empowered millions of people around the world, paid nearly $500 million in commission over the last 27 years, and he's done it all on the, by doing it himself, bootstrapping and learning. And one of the cool things about Peter and what he brings us in his teachings is he doesn't filter it. He tells it like it is. He talks about when he struggled at the very beginning and some of the things that he went through in order to attain the things that he currently has been able to do. So tonight what we're going to do is something pretty cool and different. I'm going to turn it over to Peter here. Tonight we're going to be talking about Star Wars, the Star Wars philosophy. It's going to be really cool. I'm excited. We got some video, and I'll pass it off to you. Peter Wolfing, how's it going?
All right, Joe. Hey, thank you very much. I had this idea just a few weeks ago, and it just popped into my head as ideas often do with me. And I was thinking about the Star Wars coming up because I was getting my anticipation going for the movie coming up, and I had gotten tickets for myself and my family, and I was all bummed out because I waited too long, and because I wanted to get the IMAX tickets, and all of the seats were taken. I had to get way up in the front, and I'm like, I'm not going to sit there like this, so I'd be up there like this, looking at all the stuff. It wouldn't be right. So I had to wait on that. I just went into the regular theater, but I'll be going in to see the IMAX this week on the 24th during the daytime. So it's all psyched up about that. Anyway, I was thinking about it, and the way I do a lot of my teaching, my training, Joe said, is very unfiltered, what they call unplugged and unscripted. And as I do my Facebook Lives, it's also unscripted. It's built around the environment that I'm in and the ideas that come into my head when I'm in a certain environment. So I like to teach off of that. And that's what I'll be doing tonight is I put together some clips of the videos of the movie. And I'll be going and saying stuff before the clip, saying stuff after the clip, stopping and starting, things like that, and describing what they're saying, but also how it relates to today's society and also how it relates to building your network marketing business, because that's ultimately what we want to do. So, as you said, today's regarding the UCore, which is part of a conglomerate, I guess, which is called U Economy. We have U Economy, which is the company, U Academy, which is our learning center, and the UCore, which is I call it the crazy glue that holds all of it together. As it sounds, the name core is where the hub of everything starts, live education, and we do book studies and masterminds, but basically live, and we do those every single week for people. Plus, you get back dates of all the prior classes as well too, for a whopping $60 a month. And we're not here to pitch a compensation plan on you, but ultimately it pays out over 12 levels deep. You get $20 on the first level, which means you only refer 3 people and you're good. And you have yourself teaching and mentoring, not just from me, but we hire outside teachers to come in as well too, to teach different things. We had Amy Bars from the John Maxwell Group coming in and teaching the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. That was an 8-week course. Right now we're teaching Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I'm actually teaching that. That's going to end up, we figured it was an 8-week course over 10 weeks because of the holiday. We're probably going to do it in, I'd say, 10 weeks to 12 weeks because the content that I'm having is going way over an hour in most cases. So I think we're going to slim it down a little bit each week so this way we can get more depth into what we're teaching. But the core thing here is that we're giving you live education and quality education. Before I get started with the teaching today, what I want to do is show you the back office of the U Economy system so you can really see what I'm talking about, okay? And then we'll get started because today's not so much, it's not really a pitching session, it's more education, but I just want to give you an overview as far as the gravity of what I'm talking about. Let me just go share my screen. All right. Joe, can you see that screen with the back office?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
All right, great. All right, cool. Let me just move some stuff around here. I'm on a laptop, so it is rather small. All right, cool. So this is the back office here of U Economy. And you'll see lots of products. And I said U Academy, and we divide all of our education on 3 basics of categories: basic, advanced, and mastery. But in each one of these categories, we have 3 different styles of education: mentorship, digital education to learn the digital space, mentorship is between the ears, and the networking, which is how to promote. So with these 3 skill sets, you go into the advanced and finally the mastery. Okay, so essentially 3 products, 3 core products, but we break it down into 9 versions of the product: basic, advanced, and mastery. Just like in college, you go into 101, 102, 103 of, say, psychology or biology or something like that. Now, if you go into any one of these different specialties here that you teach, that we have, you'll see all sorts of different videos that we have here. They load up tons of videos, audios, training material, and just lots of quality education that we have here. And we teach you, but it's all focused on the mentorship part. And then we go into the other skill sets that we have, which are advanced and which is the mastery parts up here, okay? But today it's about the UCore, which if you scroll down, oops, I hit a button here by mistake. I'm doing a touch screen. So we go down to UCore, and if we click on UCore, you'll see that we have the different courses that we had: the 15 Valuable Laws of Growth and Think and Grow Rich, which is what we're doing right now, okay? So if I click on Think and Grow Rich, this is actually the dial-in number that we have, but we'll be changing that, so it's not going to be effective when we start. The next 2 weeks are the holidays, so we're going to take a break during those 2 times. But you'll see the different courses that we have here already on Think and Grow Rich: persistence and faith in the author's preface, and we have the entire audio book right over here. And we also have the other audio book, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, and some other specialties that we have in here, which are the USMC leadership traits, that I was a sergeant in the Marine Corps, and other things as well too. But the cool thing is that every time we do a course, you also get all the other courses that we had here in UCOR itself, which this is the John Maxwell teaching that we had, and you'll see them load up and you can access them at any time. So for $60 a month, you're getting all the past courses, the current courses, and hey, invest in yourself. The best Christmas present, holiday present, Hanukkah present that you can get for yourself, get for anybody, is invest in yourself. At $2 a day, refer 3 people, and your education is free. So it's an awesome, awesome thing. So guys, that's the back office of the U Economy system. We also have U Fit for fitness, U Wealth for wealth, and saving money, making money, and all sorts of different things, newsletters and contact managers, and how to promote your business and all sorts of stuff. So it's a very all-encompassing system. So, all right, so enough of that. Let me get over here, and let's go into some teaching, because I just wanted to touch on that. And let me open up my screen and switch over to the next one.
And while you're switching there, Peter, I just wanted to point out that the book, Think and Grow Rich, I don't know if you noticed, was available back there in the UCOR section. There's actually a link you can click, and there you can go right to your to the full-on book of Think and Grow Rich. And when Peter is training on Think and Grow Rich, he references the actual sentence in the chapter. Every single sentence is has a number. So when Peter's on the telephone, he say, "Okay, we're in chapter 8. Go to sentence number 156." And starts digging in a little bit deep on that specific thing. It really is a really cool thing.
Yeah, I love doing that part of it, where we actually go through and you can follow along what I'm teaching.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Joe, do you see a black screen that says Star Wars on the left?
I do. Yes, I do.
All right, fantastic. All right, great. All right, guys, this is what we're going to do in the teaching. Before I get started, this is a collage of different parts of the different Star Wars movies. And as I said, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting it. I'll be stopping at certain points, describing what my take is on it, both from the movie aspect and also currently, and also do from your network marketing business. So, because ultimately you want to kind of elevate your network marketing business and have you do better. So we'll be doing that, and we'll cover a good half hour to 45 minutes doing that. And this way you'll be able to see how the philosophy of the Force in Star Wars can really help you. And it's not just I guess a Hollywood thing, okay? Many of the different aspects that they brought this together with the Force, George Lucas, are based on time principles from different theological aspects of the world, okay? So the way I see the Force, and you'll hear Yoda talking about it in the different clips here, is that the Force is an energy that really permeates everything, from the trees, the rocks, people, everything. So it's all over the place. Okay, and the way we teach people in the different mentorships that we have, from the U-Mentor Basic, Mastery, Advanced, and also from the Think and Grow Rich, even Napoleon Hill, if you know the book Think and Grow Rich, he talks about frequencies of thought. He talks about consciousness and these different things, okay, vibration, frequencies, and so on. And that's kind of what the Force is. It's a frequency of thought that you're able to tap into this universal force. Okay, and the universal force, many of you know it as the grand overall designer, God, okay? So you put it into that context, and the way Napoleon Hill does, which you're doing a Think and Grow Rich study right now, is he sees the thought process as if you take a circle, okay, and you put a line across the top, maybe about 90% of the way up, so you have this little white part, which is your thinking consciousness of what you think. 90% of it, if you were to color that in, is your subconscious. It's the part that normally we don't tap into. Very, very powerful. If you were to draw a circle around you, okay, and then draw another circle around that, multiple football fields in size, that's how big your subconscious would be as far as capacity. That's where your habits are housed. That's where your memories are housed. And that's where your spiritual consciousness is housed, so this way you can connect with that grand overall designer and the Force, okay? So what we do in the different things that we're teaching you as far as frequencies of thought is that we're teaching you to access more of your subconscious. So this way, number one, instead of going outside to try to build your business, you go inside first. that's a big mistake that most people have, is they try to build their business from the outside. How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do that? What kind of prospecting do here? This type of thing, instead of becoming the person that you want to become. So this way people are attracted to you as a great sponsor. Okay. So, and that's what the force is talking about. And I'll mention that once we go into that clip over there about that specific part of that. So you, as far as a being, okay, is that you're a spiritual being, gifted with an intelligence, having to have a human experience. That's the way I kind of look at it. And you're accessing these frequencies of thought, kind of like a radio with a radio dial. And what problem is that most people are focused in on one frequency, let's just say AM 66 on the AM dial, okay? But they don't know there's all sorts of other radio stations, plus the FM dial, plus also the XM stations and things like that, right? They don't know all of these other frequencies, so they may be focused on the frequency of scarcity, poverty, of all these different negative thoughts, and much of that is due to the way they're brought up and whoever is in the position of authority to them, parents, and different things that they go to and that they watch, and the news is a big thing of that, television, all the media pumping into our eyes and ears and so on. And we're influenced that, and we're absorbed of that, and we actually create our view of the world through all of these different things, and then we base our decisions based on all of these different factors, okay? So what we want to do is we want to tap into that to decide, hey, what is servicing me well and what is not servicing me well? So as an entrepreneur, you owe it to yourself to look at all the different things that you've learned over your lifetime and decide, is this servicing me? Is this true? Because what you learn might not necessarily be the truth, okay? So we love to think that what our parents teach us are always correct, but many times they're not, okay? So we as people have the obligation to decide, okay, I'm going to keep this or I'm not going to keep that in order to grow as people. And many times, and Yoda says this also, you have to unlearn sometimes. And sometimes here as entrepreneurs, we have to unlearn what we've learned in our lives. So this way we can grow as people and to grow as entrepreneurs. All right. So that's kind of what the force is, the way I kind of see the force and the way we kind of look at it in our everyday life, and how we can actually tap into that millionaire mindset frequency, we call it. Okay. Because many people just think in terms of poverty. They just think it in those terms instead of thinking in terms of the one percenters. And would you agree with me that people that are making millions and tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars just think differently than most people? Nod your head yes, because it's obvious. It's true. They think differently. So what we're doing here is we're trying to teach you to think differently, but in order to think differently, you have to let go of past thoughts. Okay? So let's get rolling here, and we'll get started with Star Wars.
Afraid, are you?
No.
All right, let's stop it here. This is where young Anakin Skywalker is being interviewed by the Jedi Council, and they're questioning him, and you'll notice that Yoda and some of the other ones notice fear inside of him. Okay, they notice fear, and they're discovering feelings that are inside of him, and that his main problem is that he has a fear of loss of loved ones and so on, and ultimately that's going to be his downfall, which causes him to actually turn into Darth Vader because he has a fear of loss.
See through you. We can.
Be mindful of your feelings.
Your thoughts dwell on your mother.
I miss her.
Afraid to lose her, I think.
What has that got to do with anything?
Everything. Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Let's stop there, right, guy? Now, just what he said there, can we superimpose some other things into what he just said? How about Rejection is the path to poverty. Rejection leads to frustration, right? Frustration leads to blank. Put whatever you want in there, right? And frustration and rejection also leads to suffering. You put in whatever you want into those words, but it's practically everything, right? So you can put in the dark side here, that we have the dark side, and I look at the dark side as what people pollute their mind with, okay? It's consciously putting negative news into your mind, consciously allowing things to go into your eyes, your ears, and what you have in your sensory perception to pollute your mind. That's what I call the dark side. And all of that pollutes your mind because you can't have positive and negative in the same space, and thus it pushes out the positive because it overwhelms with the negative. So your job here is to guard what goes into yourself like a pit bull. And you only have to allow the positive in and push out the negative.
I sense much fear in you. Premonitions? Premonitions? These visions you have.
They're of pain, suffering, death.
Now he's talking to Anakin when he's older, and he's having premonitions, pain, suffering, and death. Think about your business for a moment. When you're going to prospect someone, maybe it's the big kahuna you want to call, right? And you're having fear premonitions, that fear barrier from calling someone up. It could have been someone that just filled out a lead capture page, and they're sitting there saying, call me, call me, call me. But how many people do not even call people up because the phone feels like, 1,000 pounds? Put yourself in Anakin Skywalker's position as a network marketer, and you're getting premonitions of fear and all these different things that he has. And that's what you feel like when you're going to pick up the phone to physically call someone, but it stops you like a brick, okay? And that's the type of thing that we're looking at here as network marketers. He's looking at it in a different way, and that he's afraid to lose people, but he's looking into the future, and that fear is going to be his ultimate destruction.
Yourself you speak of, or someone you know?
Someone.
Close to you?
Yes.
Careful you must be when sensing the future, Anakin. The fear of loss is a path to the dark side.
Rejection is a path to the dark side.
I won't let these visions come true, Master Yoda.
Death is a natural part of life. Rejoice for those around you who transform into the Force. Mourn them, do not. Miss them, do not. Attachment leads to jealousy. The shadow of greed, that is.
What must I do, Master Yoda?
Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose.
That's a big one. Train yourself to let go of everything that you fear to lose. Now you have a circle, okay? And this is the comfort zone that you're around. You have to train yourself to be uncomfortable, right? So this way you can jump over that and become comfortable after you get out of your comfort zone, but then be uncomfortable where you are so you can keep on expanding that circle. So you have to train yourself to let go of fear, so this way you get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? And you're constantly expanding your fear. Eleanor Roosevelt said, every day I try to do something that scares me. So here, every day you do and make a phone call that scares you. Do something that's going to expand your awareness in your business to keep pushing that fear away and to be able to overcome and compensate. Otherwise, you're never going to get to where you want to be in your network marketing business. It's just not going to happen.
Send me to kill the Emperor. I will not kill Anakin.
To fight this Lord Sidious strong enough, you are not.
He is like my brother. I cannot do it.
Twisted by the dark side, young Skywalker has become.
I mentioned that before, and what I call the dark side, okay? I look at it as people are being poisoned by the environment that they're in, okay? And most of that is constant negative news all the time. And people are being twisted to look at the world in different ways that are not productive to their future because of all of this. So I very rarely look at the news, only what's essential. I figure if it's big enough, it's finally going to get to me eventually. But I very rarely do that because I don't want it to pollute my mind and kind of get to the dark side.
The boy you trained, gone he is, consumed by Darth Vader.
I do not know where the Emperor has sent him. I don't know where to look.
Use your feelings, Obi-Wan, and find him you will. I cannot teach him. The boy has no patience.
He will learn
Patience.
Let me talk about patience for a moment. Now Yoda's here with Luke Skywalker, and Luke came to this planet to go find Yoda. Right now, at this point, he doesn't know it's Yoda. He's going to find out in a moment. But he's saying he doesn't have patience. And one of the laws of the universe is that law of time being, I'm getting a blank all of a sudden, the law of gestation. Whoa, I just drew a blank. The law of gestation, which means that everything has a time. So you have to have patience in your business because there's an incubation period that happens in your business. Many people know my story is that it took me a good 7, 8, 9 years to kind of get my stride in the business. Now, I don't want it to take you 7 or 8 or 9 years in the business to be able to get successful. But everything does have an incubation period. With U Economy, technically, I've been prepared. It took me a year to 2 years to prepare to get it going, but really I've been preparing for 50 years getting U Economy going, right? But the gestation period, the law of gestation, which means everything has its incubation period, all seeds take time to germinate, all pregnancies take a certain amount of time to give birth, your dream has a certain amount of time to give birth, and what he's saying here is that Luke has no patience, all right? Because learning the Force takes patience.
Much anger in him. Like his father.
Was I any different when you told me?
He is not ready.
Yoda. I am ready. Ben, I can be a Jedi. Ben, tell him I'm ready.
Ready, are you? What knows ready? For 800 years have I trained Jedi. My own counsel will I keep on who is to be trained. Jedi must have the deepest commitment.
In network marketing, this is a business, okay? This is a business, and if you want to get world class, you must have the deepest commitment to learn the skills necessary to be world class.
The most serious mind. This one, a long time have I watched. All his life as he looked away to the future.
He's saying that Luke Skywalker, all of his life, he's looked away to the future, to the horizon. And what I said at the beginning is most people make that mistake, is they look towards, I want to make $1 million. What do I have to do to get rich? Instead of looking inside to themselves and working on the interior. Work on the entrepreneur on the inside, and the business will take care of itself. And that's what he's talking about with the Force. You work on the inside instead of looking out into the horizon, because your reality is you. Okay, you create your own reality. We are creative, causative beings, and we cause things to happen, but it starts from the inside first.
Sure, to the horizon. Never his mind on where he was.
All right, so he says concentrate on where you are instead of where you want to go. Work on that first, because how do you know where you want to go, and how can you get there if you don't even know where you are right now?
What he was doing. Adventure. Excitement. Jedi craves not these things. You are reckless.
So was I, if you remember.
He is too old. Yes, too old to begin the training.
But I've learned so much.
Will he finish what he begins?
I won't fail you.
Is that one of the biggest things that trips up most people? is not finishing what they begin. People have no focus anymore. Finishing what they begin. Most people take an online course, they never get 10% maybe graduate, if that much, 5% probably. Let's say 100 people get a real estate license, over 90% never sell a single house. Network marketers that begin, they have the focus and the patience of a gnat, and they never finish what they start. So he's saying, will he have the patience to continue with the training?
I'm not afraid.
Good. You will be. You will be.
That is one of the hallmarks of a great leader. Okay, what he said was, I'm not afraid. And what Yoda did was prepare him, because he's saying you will be afraid. Think about your network marketing business, because many people will paint it all, peachy and rosy at the beginning, but when they start the business, the person that's starting the business, they think everything's all cool, and so many people are going to sign up, and then they go do the business, and guess what happens? They get blown out of the water because they're not prepared. You as a leader, like Yoda is a leader, telling him and preparing him for the eventual reality of what's going to happen as they build their business, because you will be afraid. You are going to have challenges, and you need to be prepared for that. So prepare your people when you first get started, and be the leader, and don't be afraid to tell people the reality of the business.
Right? Yes, Jedi strength flows from the Force. But beware of the dark side. Anger, fear, aggression. The dark side of the Force are they. Easily they flow. Quick to join when it fight. If once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny. Consume you it will.
Now think what he's saying here for a moment, and he's talking about energy, okay? The dark side, the light, and everything is energy, okay? So energy, one of the laws of the universe is the transmutation of energy. Energy can't be created or destroyed. It just moves from one form to another. And that's basically what he's talking about, what the force is, the light force, the dark force. And actually what we're doing and what we're talking about here as causative beings is that everything is energy. Money is energy, right? Money is the value that we give it, okay? We create things in our lives. It's all energy. Your dream starts out as an energy, right? Everything is created twice. First in your dream, then as reality, and you make it reality, but it's all energy, okay? So he's talking about the force, and the dark side is everything is all energy.
As it did Obi-Wan's apprentice.
Vader, is the dark side stronger?
No. But the easier, more seductive.
But how am I to know the good side from the bad?
You will know.
When he says the dark side is very seductive, well, think about it. Think about it. The dark side of doing your business is, I'll sleep into 11 or 12. The dark side of doing your business is, oh, I made enough calls today, I'm going to stop. The dark side of doing your business is, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Procrastination, things like that. That's the dark side, because he's saying it's very seductive, because we fall back on the way our human existence and body wants to fall back on things that are easy, okay, and fall back into a comfort zone and not push ourselves. So he's saying the dark side of doing things that are not going to get you to where you want to go and fall into a lethargy in your life is the seductive part, because that's the easy way to go.
When you are calm, at peace, passive, a Jedi uses the Force for knowledge and defense. Never attack.
But tell me why I can't.
No, there is no why. Nothing more will I teach you today. Clear your mind of questions.
Now, at this point, one of the things that we teach people is, before everyone gets up in your home, pick a quiet place, okay? Relax, clear your mind, think about what you're going to do today. Think about gratitude. Think about love in your heart, professionalism, gratitude, all these different things that are going to pour into yourself before the busyness of the day, before the emails, the text messages, and the Facebook likes, all these different things. and prepare yourself for the day. And that's essentially what he's going to be doing here and what they tell him to clear your mind and focus.
We'll never get it out now.
So certain are you? Always with you what cannot be done. Hear you nothing that I say.
Master Mu.
Always with you that what cannot be done. See, we have a choice. Okay, we have a choice to focus on what we want to focus on. Okay, we can focus on the negative or we can focus on the positive. So he's saying always focusing on what can't be done rather than focusing on what is possible.
Stones around is one thing. This is totally different.
No, no different. Only different in your mind. You must unlearn what you have learned.
This one line is one of the most prophetic in the entire series of Star Wars movies. You must unlearn what you have learned. Practically every personal development mentor out there teaches that you have to unlearn what you've learned.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No, try not. Do or do not.
Nike says just do it. This one segment here of the movie has so many sizzling points in it. Try or you don't try. Do it or do not. There is no try. Same thing with your business. You have to commit to your business. Do it or don't do it. Don't just give it a try. You have to commit to your business to make it happen.
There is no try.
I can't. It's too big.
Size matters not. Look at me. Judge me by my size, do you?
Now, he tried to lift his entire ship out of the water, was not able to do it, okay? And what he's doing now is he's prejudging Yoda based on his size. Many times in our business, don't we prejudge people before they even get started? We prejudge them by their past experience. We prejudge them by their education level. We prejudge them by how they look. We prejudge them because they're male or female. We prejudge them because they're a different part of the world. We prejudge them about all sorts of different things. But you never know what is on the inside. In Napoleon Hill's book, he talks about this guy named Barnes, and he looked almost like a homeless guy, but he saw the fire inside his eyes. And that's what he was looking at. He was looking for that spark in somebody that you can actually light and be able to go off like a nuclear bomb. That's what he's looking for. And now Luke Skywalker is judging Yoda by his size. He's prejudging. So don't prejudge people in your business. You never know who's going to be successful in your business.
And where you should not. For my ally is the Force. And a powerful ally it is. Life creates it, makes it grow. Its energy surrounds us and binds us. Luminous beings, so we, not this crude matter.
So he's telling Luke to stop focusing on the physical and focus on the interior part, okay? Stop focusing on the physical part of yourself. And we keep telling people 80 to 90% of your business is mental. It's not physical. 80 to 90% is in between your ears. It's the war between your ears. It is not the physical part. It's not how do I talk to people. It's not what do I say to people. It's not the physical things you need to do to build your business. It's the mental things that always derail you in your business.
You must feel the Force around you. You, free you, me. Free. Look, everywhere.
What we're saying in our business here, you must feel the force around you, is you have to believe. You have to get to a certain point of belief that you are unstoppable, okay? The force is almost, he's talking about here, is almost like belief. And when I tell people here, I have so much belief that nobody can derail me, nobody can tell me this doesn't work. Nobody can tell me the force doesn't work because I believe, right? So same thing here is you have to believe in the business that you're doing, the company, the products, yourself, your upline, all these people. You have to believe that it's going to be working. And if you need to borrow belief from someone else. And you're going to see in a clip right here is that he, Luke Skywalker, is going to borrow the belief from Yoda once he sees this happen.
Yes. Even between land.
You want the impossible.
Think of Luke Skywalker as a new person in your business, and think of yourself, if you've been around the business for a while, as Yoda, okay? And the person is looking at you for guidance, and they're looking at you to show them the way, okay? And if you're not at that position right now to be a Yoda, well, maybe you use someone else in your upline that has more success than you. Edify them and be able to use their success, okay? And if you need me, please use me as much as possible to be able to do that, to show that I can give you the belief that this does work, okay? And it's your job as a leader in your group. You lead yourself first, then you start leading with 1 and 2 and 4 and 8, and that's how your group grows. But you have to transfer that belief onto your people, which Yoda just did to Luke Skywalker, to say, hey, this is possible. You can start out small, but then you can have the skills to make it really happen. After you start learning the skills of the Force, look what's happened and look what's possible with Yoda.
I don't believe it.
It's why you fail.
Well, that's what I've been saying the whole time. I don't believe it because that's why you fail. You don't believe you're going to be successful. You don't have the belief. Well, that's one of the biggest reasons why you fail.
Remember, a Jedi strength flows from the Force. And beware. Anger, fear, depression, the dark side within. Once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny. No. No. Do not underestimate the powers of the Emperor, or suffer your father's fate. You will. Yeah. When God am I, the last of the Jedi will you be. The Force will small in your family. Pass on what you have done.
As a leader in the business, very wise things as Yoda's dying here. He's saying, pass on what you've learned. That's ultimately what we are as network marketers. We're just teachers, right? We're sharing information. We're not selling anything to anyone. But then when someone comes on board, we turn on our leadership and our teaching hats, and we become teachers to teach the duplication, because if we don't teach them, the chances of you having duplication happen is slim to none.
You.
Is another
Now, this is a clip from the, let's see, one from another one, and he's talking about the wisdom of children.
truly wonderful the mind of a child is.
That's a big one. Truly wonderful the wisdom and the mind of a child is, because they're absorbing everything and they haven't been corrupted by all the different things that are happening around the world. They haven't been corrupted by other things that have been pushed into their mind to believe. So very basic, okay? And that's why he said truly wonderful and simplistic as a child's mind is. And this last clip here is a little bit, it's not a clip, it's more like screenshots of the latest movie. And the biggest line that Yoda has in this movie, as soon as he said this, I was like, yeah, I can't believe he just said that. But it's a great, great quote. He's in there, he's talking to Luke Skywalker on this island, okay? And that's Luke Skywalker here as an older Jedi. And Luke Skywalker was going in to burn the last of the Jedi books because he wanted to snuff out the Jedi religion. And Yoda comes by, and after Yoda's dead, obviously, but he comes by in this luminous form to talk to Luke Skywalker, and he says these very prophetic words. There's no sound with this, by the way. Here you go. The best teacher failure is. The best teacher failure is. These words right here are like the words that stuck with me in the whole movie, because we have to not be afraid to fail. I fail all the time, okay? But failure is a great teacher. We just look at learning as we fail, getting better as we fail. And you can also slip in rejection. The best teacher rejection is. The more you get rejection, you learn, you get better. You get rejected, you learn, you get better. How can I have done this better? How can I have talked to them differently to maybe have a different result? Maybe I couldn't have had a different result. Maybe I could have, but you try to do it better. And I'll show you something. I'm not sure how my camera's on here, but I'll show you something a little bit later about something that's helped me in the past as well too, which is this, okay? Joe, can you see that? Can you see what that is?
It's like,
can you see it? I'm not sure if my camera's on right here, but I'll show it in a minute. But let me get to the end of this here,
I
because we
can
don't have.
see it. It looks like you're something you write with.
Yeah, it's a pen, okay.
Yeah.
But I'll show you what this really is. It's not really. It's a pen, yes, but there's also more to it. So I'll show it in just a minute. There's Yoda the Master, and that's the end of this clip. So let's get to the end here. All right. Guys, that is the UCOR. Now, I want to show you this here. This is a pen, yes, but I use this pen because it's a secret weapon. It's a secret weapon. Let me just try to get my screen a little bit bigger here so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. This is actually a camera, okay? And one of the things that I used to do, and I got to do it more often actually, it'd be kind of cool, is you stick it in your pocket, and this over here is a camera. And what I would do is put it in my pocket like this. Oh, sorry, it's actually this way. And it would film me talking to people in real life, okay? And I would be able to take that home and say, what did I do better? What did I do worse? You know, all these different things. And I would hear myself and be able to open it up, unscrew it, and take this here and stick it into my computer and watch the video and train myself, okay? So it's you can go to Brookstone or what is it, Sharper Image, probably about 60 to 80 bucks, something like this, and how about use something like this to do that, and then take those videos and train your people, okay? So little thing here to be able to learn from and actually use this to be able to tape yourself and how you prospect people live. How do you talk to people? Because there's always somebody out there to talk to. I hate when people say, oh, I don't have anybody to talk to. I mean, really? You don't bump into people all day long. You don't go to restaurants. You don't go to movies. There's always people out there. You just have those antennas up there to look for the spark in people's eyes that are looking for something better, because they're out there looking for something better. Hey, let me see some of the questions here, Joe. Some of the people here that has questions.
Yes, Mark Goldenberg says, much appreciated are we, Peter.
Yeah, everybody's going to start talking Yoda speak to me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so somebody want to know where you get this pen. You go to Brookstone or go to Sharper Image, and they'll have a pen like this. It's a camera pen.
You know, Peter, this really dovetails nicely into what you were teaching us on Monday about the power of making a decision from
Right.
Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm really paying attention lately to the things that I say and some of the stuff I'm putting into Skype and in my conversations. And I'm making the decision, am I taking this conversation to a constructive, place, or am I just saying some stuff that's agitating and I'm very aware of this now. And I've been I've been putting some stuff out there in social media, and I come back and I say, you know what? I don't really want that message out there because maybe they'll misunderstand it. And I think that is what the dark side is. When you start the gossip, right? And you start going into the focusing on the negative and this isn't working the way it should, that just is like a snowball going down the hill. And that's what Yoda talks about, surrendering to the dark side. It is easy to be that guy. It's way more difficult. It's way more challenging to stay up than it is to get down,
It's so easy because he said it's very seductive, okay? The seductive part is that it's easy to get in, it's easy to get out. It's easy not to do the things that's necessary to do. This business is really simple. It's not complicated. It really is simple, but it's easy not to do it as well too. So we say all the time, you have to do the things that other people aren't willing to do in your business to be successful. Make the calls, do the thing, treat yourself as an owner of the business, so this way you can treat yourself as an employee and an owner at the same time. I say all the time that how can you evaluate yourself? We're towards the end of the year now, right? So ask yourself this question. If you hired yourself right now, through the year, okay, and you paid yourself, let's say, $1,000 a week to do whatever you had to do, you hire yourself to do the business that you're doing right now, to gather leads, to do presentations and things like that, how long do you think that you would have kept yourself on the payroll? If you had to take money out of your pocket and pay yourself $1,000 a week to do your business, to do the activity of doing your business, and you had to look at that as an owner, and that was coming out of your pocket all the time, how long would you keep yourself on the job? And for most of the people out there, that's why you don't make the money you want to make, because you probably, if you look at it realistically, you probably have to fire yourself because you're not doing the work necessary to earn that $1,000 to be able to do the business, right? And if you had an employee like that, if you worked at a job and they're paying you $1,000 a week to do a specific job, and you just refuse to do it, you're going to do 10% of the job. How long are you going to have a job? If you come in late every day, if you stay for a 2-hour lunch instead of an hour lunch, how long are you going to have a job? And the answer is you're not going to have a job. And guess what? It's going to happen. You're not going to get hired again at that job. But in this business, you can fire yourself and hire yourself tomorrow morning and say, listen, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it right this time. And you have to treat yourself as a business owner and an employee at the same time and kick yourself in the butt what's necessary, but stay plugged in. And that's one of the things that UCOR does. We have the radio shows every day that do that. We have, how many webinars we have a week, Joe? 6 or something?
We're up to 6 now.
Something like that. So like 5 or 6 webinars a week. Yeah, and we have 5 radio shows and 5 or 6 webinars a week. And we do also UCORs a week. We have all these different things going on that you stay plugged into and keep that energy going. So that this way you can have the guidance to be able to build your business and have the mentorship that you need to be able to build your business. Because at U Economy, we're all about education. We're all about building your business through a secondary education, teaching you from the bottom up, basic, advanced, and mastery, but also hand-holding your way through it. And we have other things coming out this month, next month as well too, with the UPro system. We also have live events coming up in the near future. All these different things are going to be able to help you build your business with UCOR. So we take the the mentorship and the education very, very seriously. It's not just some cookie cutter education that we have here. As you can see from the training that we did tonight with the Star Wars, it's not just your everyday, grandma's type of network marketing company and business. So let's see if we have any other questions here. And if not, then we'll just end it up tonight, okay?
Okay, that sounds good. Renewed appreciation for Yoda, that's for sure. That's
well, if you've been teaching people for 800 or 900 years, there you go. You get pretty good at it, right?
Yeah, I guess. Anybody has a comment or a question, drop it in there. And, I would make a comment, if I may, about the unique nature of what we're doing here. I see Craig over here. He says it was excellent. I'll be using the recording for new members. And also there is, Lengui Christian from Cameroon. I don't know where Cameroon is. Very grateful to join this call for the very first time.
Awesome. Cameroon, awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. No questions. But, the nature of the education here really is unique, like the things that we're doing here right now. I dare you to go find somebody out there in the world who's doing a Yoda-based training for the network marketing professionals out there in the world. And so it really makes it fun. And because of the business model that we're using, the numbers are big. People are looking to make money. Of course, that's why you join usually a network marketing business. But sometimes the build is so long and it's so laborious. And here we have such a unique opportunity because you can make money pretty quickly, and we do it in this really fun environment every single day. Peter talked about our radio show every weekday at noon. Usually Peter's there making a comment. We open it up to anybody around the world who has a comment or a question. It's a lot of fun. U Economy is a really cool place to be, and we're just getting started.
And Joe, why don't you give that radio show information so if people want to come on, they can get on there?
Yeah, you can find us at uradiolive.com, uradiolive.com. You can go there right now. It's a 24/7 stream. All the things that we have done going all the way back to May are there. They're archived. Every single day at 12 noon, we add another one to the list. So you can go there at 12 noon Eastern tomorrow to URadio Live, and there's a telephone number there. When you see the phone number, you can pick it up and you can call in, old school, like a conference call. But we do it so that anybody in the world, we do it on this URadio Live. So like the person who's in Cameroon can just, if you've got a browser, if you're on the internet, you can listen to what's going on. And then maybe it's a different time of the day. We have people Australia, New Zealand, where it's tomorrow already, and they can, they'll get up and they can hear what's taking place today in North America on uradiolive.com. And in this time slot tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, you can go to UZoom Live, and you can learn more about our U Economy business, learn more about Peter and how the money is generated if it's something that you're considering doing.
Yeah, guys, there's so much to it, and today is really more of a teaching thing. But we have a huge business opportunity here. The UCore is more of a residual type of base. It's monthly, so that's our residual part. But we also have low tier, mid tier, and top tier, as much as $40,000 in a commission that you can make with one sale. I mean, it's life-changing money. Okay, that's on the top tier, but as low as $125, you make $100 on a sale. So, and these are all through our teaching things that we have as well too. So, guys, it's really all-encompassing. It's really meant to be able to be something for everyone. Doesn't matter whether you're in Cameroon, you're in England, you're in Mongolia, you're in Tennessee. You can do the business, and you can join at some portion here or some point with the U Economy business, because our goal is to make sovereignty in your life. So this way you have the mindset that you can control everything in your life. You have sovereignty over what you do, how you do it, about what you're doing in your life, and control over everything. That's what basically sovereignty is to be a master of your own domain, and to have everyone to be their own economy. So you don't have to worry about what's happening on the other side of the world. You don't have to worry about what's happening with Bitcoin, although we teach about that. You don't have to worry about what's happening with the healthcare bill or anything else that's happening, or the tax bill, or the presidency. You don't have to really worry about that so much, although you be aware of it. But you can be master of your own domain, and you could be your own economy, and you could be dropped anywhere in the world and just give yourself a little bit access to the internet, and you can make money. That's what we want to get people to a point where they have total confidence that no matter where you go, you could be dropped off and make money. That's the way I feel in my life. I could be dropped anywhere and make money because I have the skills to be able to do that. And we want to impart those skills onto you through all the different teaching mechanisms that we have here. So great stuff today, Joe. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks, everybody, for coming on. I appreciate it. and get back to the person that introduced you to this UCORE session. They'll be happy to answer any remaining questions for you, whether it's about UCORE. You can get that isolated if you want, just by itself, or if you want to join one of our other programs that we have in U Economy, you're welcome to do that as well too. But they'll be happy to answer any remaining questions for you as well too. So thank you, Joe, very much. I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for coming on. Have yourself a good night. May the force be with you guys.
Yeah.